Hey everyone, Shabam here and welcome to our first episode of our Combat Zone Wrestling Universe mode. This is part one of our Best and the Best tournament, where we will crown our first Combat Zone Wrestling champion. And here we go then, our opening match of the night. And our opening match of this tournament is going to be Jimmy Havoc taking on Oney Lorcan, who I believe, well, he definitely did used to work in Combat Zone Wrestling. I believe he's a former Combat Zone Wrestling champion, of course, in his previous incarnation as Biff Busick. So we've got 4 first round matches for you this evening, and we'll be crowning our first Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions as well. Tomorrow we'll have 4 first round matches and be crowning our Wired Champion. And then on night 3, we'll have all of the semi-finals and a fatal 4-way elimination main event to crown the winner of the Best of the Best and to crown our first Combat Zone Wrestling champion. So, pretty similar format to the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla tournament last week. What was it called? Battle of Los Angeles, of course, Bola. So, be pretty fun, I think. We've got a lot of really interesting names, a lot of names that we've not seen so far in this universe mode, such as Oney Lorcan here. Also, we'll see Eddie Edwards, Brodie Lee, Jay Briscoe, Drew Gulak tonight as well. Tomorrow we've got names like Cassius Ohno, Alistair Black, Mark Briscoe, Sami Callihan, Adam Cole, Davey Richards. So a lot of fantastic names in this tournament, and it really is going to crown a fantastic first Combat Zone Wrestling champion as well. Also our tag team match, I think, tonight's going to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting, actually. We've got, I won't spoil it, we'll wait till we get to it. I think you'll enjoy it. Oney Lorcan now dropping a sidewalk slam on Jimmy Havoc, who's not had the best of times so far in Universe Mode, Jimmy Havoc. He's had one match so far against MJF back on Tuesday, and he lost that. However, he is scheduled for a match at our All-In pay-per-view this Sunday. I think he's going one-on-one against Joey Janela, who will also be in action here tonight. So a lot of opportunities here for people to change their luck, really. And I feel like Havoc is going to be one of the mainstays of this Combat Zone Wrestling roster. Of course, he is the current king of the deathmatch over there. And what do you think of this arena? I quite like this arena. It's simple and effective. It's exactly what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be over the top. I've downloaded a few arenas recently that have been just so over the top, and there's just stuff everywhere, and it doesn't need to be like that. It's just simple. It looks exactly what it should look like, which is great. As this battle commencing on the outside, of course, this is Combat Zone Wrestling. We can expect a little bit of, a bit more brutality. A bit of action on the outside, you know. As Havoc now dropping Oney Lorcan face first across the apron. Referee's up to a 7 count now, shouting at the guys to get back in the ring as Havoc does send Oney Lorcan back in. Havoc now just stamping on the back of the knees of Oney Lorcan. Back up to his feet now, Havoc sending Lorcan into the corner. And follows it up with that big running drop kick. And he goes for a second massive running drop kick on Lorcan, who drops middle of the ring. Havoc bringing him back up to his feet now. Looking for that crunch, or the dead eye if you will. Drops him for the pin. 1, 2... 3. Wow, Havoc made short work of Oney Lorcan here in the opening bout of this Best of the Best tournament. And Jimmy Havoc is going to the semi-finals on Sunday. Wow. I weren't expecting this to be so quick, to be honest with you. I was expecting a bit more of a battle here, but Jimmy Havoc really showed Oney Lorcan, didn't he? And Havoc does need this momentum. Like I said, he lost in his opening match in AEW a few days ago against MJF, so he did need a victory here to sort of try and just get his luck better for him. If that's that the right words? I'm just making crap up as I go along, aren't I? You know what I mean. Trying to get that momentum. So Havoc, great win for him. Like I said, we'll see him on Sunday in the semi-finals. He's one more win away from being able to fight for the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. I keep doing that. I did that yesterday. I kept missing the word ship off the end of the word. Could be a real dark horse in this one, Jimmy Havoc. And here we go then, Brodie Lee versus Eddie Edwards. Brodie Lee needs to happen again, doesn't it? I mean, on the independent scene. He's being absolutely wasted in WWE. He needs to be utilised better. He's such a fantastic wrestler. And I really miss having him on TV, I really do. I believe his contract is due up in January next year, I think it is, something like that. It was supposed to be late this year, but because of injuries and that, they have this inbuilt clause they can extend your contract and so forth, which is what they've done, which is a bit of a dick move, to be honest with you, but I think he'll be an amazing member of the AEW roster when he leaves, because he is an amazing talent, and he's looking to show that here as he looks to become the first Combat Zone Wrestling champion in our universe mode. But Eddie Edwards is a man who's really embraced hardcore wrestling over the last couple of years, and I think he'll definitely want to get himself a good run here as well. But only one can move forward to the final. Who's it going to be? As Edwards trying to take out the trunk of the massive redwood that is Brodie Lee. Very intelligent maneuver. If you want to take down a big tree, you take it down by its trunk, and that's exactly what he's doing. And if Harper has issues with his legs, it's definitely going to make him a lot less effective, but he looks fine at the moment as he hits a Hurricanrana. He's such an agile big man, is Luke Harper. Nice uppercut. I watched an old video on YouTube the other day, and I really miss classic Wyatt family. Just that, like, cut away, and it just Bray Wyatt with a lantern just going, "We're here." I miss that so much. It was so good. I really loved the whole gimmick, especially when it started in NXT and Bray Wyatt was doing these crazy promos, and he was just so good. It was such a great gimmick and such a great character, and it's sort of they've twisted it now. And don't get me wrong, I'm loving the new Firefly Funhouse stuff. I think that's really cool. We might be able to integrate something into what we're doing at some point as well. That'd be good. That's Hurricanrana there by Lee. I am tempted to have the likes of Bray Wyatt and Rowan join the Combat Zone Wrestling roster as well. I don't know if we'll use this call. We might just stick with Luke Harper, to be honest. I keep using Brodie Lee. I might just stick with Luke Harper, to be honest. I tried to go back to the retro name, but as I've said before, I think if WWE did disappear, I dare say a lot of people would probably keep their WWE names because they are probably better known and will get them more bookings. So I think Harper might actually keep Harper rather than going back to Brodie Lee. Although when he leaves the company next year, obviously he will become Brodie Lee once again. But who knows, now with the integration of Heyman and with Bischoff, there might be a whole different set of people that are going to get opportunities, and hopefully Luke Harper will be one of them. Maybe he will end up staying. I mean, I don't know what roster he's supposed to be on at the moment. I think it's SmackDown. But you never know, Bischoff might have an idea for him, which I hope he does, because I think he's a real talented wrestler. I mean, it was only a couple of years ago there was talk of a main event in WrestleMania alongside Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. I'm going to just stick with Luke Harper. I think it's easier. Nice discus lariat there by Harper into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Brodie Lee, I'm going to rename Luke Harper just to make my life easier, is heading through to the semi-finals. Wow. That's a big elimination, that one, Eddie Edwards. Harper's done incredibly well here. I don't know. Should I stick with Harper or Lee? It depends whether we consider using... I don't think we will, to be honest. Using Harper and Rowan as a tag team at some point, but I don't know if we will. We've got so many great tag teams in this universe mode. It just... I mean, I really like Harper, and I want to see him push on more as a singles competitor. So I might just keep him on his own, maybe. Probably means we won't really see Rowan, because I don't really know about Rowan on his own, to be honest, unless we use him as some sort of, I don't know, he's some bit of wood to be beaten up, maybe, I don't know. Either way, it is Brodie Lee / Luke Harper who is making his way to our semi-finals on Sunday for an opportunity to fight for the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Is that right? I don't know. Either way. Right, so I think we're going to take a stop from the first round matches. Let's go for a Tag Team Championship match. Wow, that championship looks awful, doesn't it? It's so bad, but it's the only Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Championship I can find on the Community Creations. It is really bad. It's not too bad. Oh, it is really bad, isn't it? Maybe I'll just create my own. I don't know. Either way, as you can see, we have got the New Era Foundation, Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Smith Jr., and they are taking on two parts of our Villain Enterprises stable, which of course is Brodie King. And somebody who's been requested quite a lot in the comment section, of course, it's PCO, who I think is an absolutely incredible core. I mean, there's a lot of cores on this. I have gone down the route of picking people that I think look good ahead of people just for names. But I do think we do have some really good cores this time. So the winner of this match will be crowned the first ever Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions in this universe mode. It'll be interesting to see which one of these two teams get it. PCO with the DDT there on Teddy Hart. Davey Boy Smith Jr. just dropping Brodie King to the outside. Now PCO sending Teddy Hart across the ring with a suplex. Back up to his feet once again. There's the boot to the gut, and now PCO looking for some sort of package, but Teddy Hart able to break through the Hurricanrana as Davey Boy Smith Jr. dominating Brodie King on the outside. Nice knee right in the arm there by Teddy Hart. So of course we're going to be doing this tonight. Tomorrow we're crowning our first Wired Champion, and then on Sunday we're crowning our first Combat Zone Wrestling Champion. So by the end of this 3-day period, we should have all three of our Combat Zone Wrestling Champions crowned. Unless anything dodgy happens. Which can happen. We've had it before. In my NXT UK universe mode, when Noam Dar got himself disqualified in the first ever championship match. PCO just launching Teddy Hart in that T-bone suplex. Davey Boy Smith Jr. though looking really strong here against Brodie King. He seems to really have Brodie King's number here. Although PCO is destroying Teddy Hart. I mean, really just demolishing Teddy Hart. And we'll see PCO and Brodie King over in Ring of Honor as well, of course, alongside Marty Skull as Villain Enterprises. But I like PCO, and I would like to see him a bit more in other things as well, and possibly over in PWG, of course. Maybe even in singles competition. I have got him down potentially for a singles match later on, and I'm potentially going to have him in the Todd competition as well, the Tournament of Death competition as well, maybe PCO. I think he looks a bit crazy, doesn't he? But the New Age Foundation here really dominating this one at this point in time anyway. Both members of Villain Enterprises down, but oh no, both members of Villain Enterprise able to reverse, and PCO now taking Teddy Hart up on his shoulders, dropped into the Samoan drop, and PCO is going up top. What is this man considering here? PCO, there's the moonsault, my word. Blue Thunder bomb as well by Brodie King. PCO with a pin on Teddy Hart after the moonsault. Teddy Hart able to kick out. It's crazy to think PCO, I mean, he's a former WWF Tag Team Champion. That gives you an idea of how long ago that was. The man has been wrestling for a very, very long time, and he seems to have really just hit a peak in his career at this point in time, doesn't he? That was a bit embarrassing, wasn't it? Teddy Hart went to drop kick the guy that Davey Boy Smith Jr. moves. Davey Boy now taking PCO down. Has him up on his shoulders, looking for that running power slammer, homage to his father. There's the pin. Brodie King hasn't seen it, but luckily PCO kicks out, and Brodie King now with Teddy Hart up on his shoulders, dropping him. Wow, big move one. And Davey Boy hasn't got this now either. And we got it, Villain Enterprises. PCO, you didn't see from this angle, have managed to grab a hold of Davey Boy Smith Jr. so he wasn't able to move. And we have got brand new Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions. And it is going to be the team of PCO and Brodie King. It is Villain Enterprises. Nice, PCO's a champion. That was that great moonsault earlier on. So here's the running power slam, you see. which was not enough to get the 3 count. And we're not going to see it either way. Yeah, Brodie had hit the big move on Teddy Hart, and Dave Boy Smith was caught by PCO, just wrenching him. As there we go, Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions, PCO and Brodie King, Villain Enterprises. PCO looks real, doesn't he? He looks so good. Nice, the ice cream truck's here. That's nice and loud, isn't it? Right, next match then, Jay Briscoe versus Joey Janela. A chance to join Luke Harper and Jimmy Havoc in the next round in the semi-finals, taking place on Sunday. Of course, both of these are also involved in other rosters as well. Joey Janela being part of AEW full-time, but maybe will pop up in other stuff as well. Of course, the Briscoe brothers will be part of Ring of Honor and a little bit of New Japan as well. But Jay Briscoe is a very accomplished wrestler. Grand Slam champion in Ring of Honor. And he could be our first Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Champion as well. Who knows? It'd be nice to have a roster where we're not going to have... I can't say that. Spoilers. I've just realised I'm going to say something that I was about to... I haven't uploaded yet, so I better not say that. Either way... yeah, that was a bit iffy, that was. Yeah. I almost dropped a bollock there. Either way, so Joey Janela doing pretty well here to start things off. We've got one more match for you here this evening after this one, and that would be Drew Gulak taking on Jon Moxley for a chance to fight in the semi-finals. Moxley's got to be the favourite to win this entire competition, I would imagine, but you know how this game works? It doesn't do what you think it's going to, essentially. Nice stunner there by Joey Janela on Jay Briscoe, now bringing Briscoe back up to his feet. Sent face first into the turnbuckle, looking to follow it up, and Jay Briscoe fighting back, and Briscoe does seem to have a slight height advantage over Joey Janela. Janela. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? There's a Hurricanrana and Jay hooking the leg. Only for a 2, and Janela rolls it through into 2 of his own. Briscoe rolls it back into another 2, but Janela able to break free. I think is Janela part of our... I feel like Janela is part of our... Yes, he is. I've got a match set up at All In on Sunday between Joey Janela and Jimmy Havoc. So they're both... Well, Jimmy Havoc's going to have a very busy day, isn't he? Because we know he's already going to be in the semi-finals here on Sunday. So he's going to have 2 matches on Sunday. Janela can join him if he wins here as well. Boot in the face by Jay Briscoe. Big clothesline. Taking the head off of Janela. Now as Jay stalking though. He takes him up looking for that Jay Driller. Boom. Hits it. The butterfly pile driver. There's the pin by Briscoe. This could be enough for the 1, 2. No, Janela kicks out. Incredible resilience shown by Janela, as always. Janela just forcing Briscoe away. Now dropping an elbow across the face. Janela is going to head up to the top. It's a bit of a tongue twister, Janela. You can't say it quickly, Janela. Janela. Big double foot stomp by Joey Janela on Jay Briscoe. There's the pin. Only a 2 count. But there wasn't a lot in that kick out from Jay at all, was there? As Janela now stalking Jay Briscoe. He's looking for that package. Pile driver. Boom. Janela hits it. This could be a massive win for him. 1, 2, and 3. And Joey Janela has knocked Jay Briscoe out of the first round of the best of the best. Joey Janela is going to the semi-finals. That's a surprise, that is. That is a real surprise. I was not expecting that. I really thought Jay Briscoe would be a cert for this one. No offense to Joey Janela, but he's very much at the beginning of his career. Jay Briscoe Very experienced. Former world champion in several places. I just thought he might have the experience edge, but Janela really controlled it here. Managed to kick out this J Driller as well, showed incredible resilience. And then getting the package power driver of his own to go on and win the match. There was the big double foot stomp first. Right into the midriff, that was only enough for the 2. And there we go then, Joey Janela with the victory. He is going to Sunday's semi-finals. We've got one more space to give out tonight, though. That's our main event. Who will be joining Harper, Havoc, and Janela? Will it be Gulak? Will it be Moxley? Let's find out. Here we go then, Drew Gulak taking on the arguable favourite for this entire tournament, of course, in John Moxley, who's getting a strong start there with a sit-out scoop slam. Of course, we've got 4 more first-round matches for you tomorrow, some very interesting ones. The likes of Darby Allin versus Pentagon, Cassius Ohno versus Aleister Black, Mark Briscoe versus Davey Richards, and Adam Cole versus Sami Callihan. So 4 more big matches tomorrow. And then, of course, we will have our Wired Championship match as well between Phoenix and Bandido. I need to stop using Phoenix too much. I'm using them too much. I'm a big Phoenix and Pentagon fan, as you probably realise by the amount of TV time they're getting compared to everyone else. Oh my God, what a splash by Moxley. Absolutely no regard for his own body. They need to remember, if he does get through this, he's going to have at least one more match on Sunday to wrestle. He needs to make sure he gets through this unscathed and not injure himself by doing crazy, massive splashes like that. Which seems to have affected him, because Gulak's back in charge. Commentator's curse as Moxley just clotheslines Gulak's heads off. Moxley now sending Gulak into the apron. Referee's up to a 7 count, I believe that is. As both guys now head back into the ring. Moxley, of course, has already got a big match set for Sunday All In on the AEW playlist. He'll be going one-on-one against Kenny Omega, and the winner of that match will get an opportunity at the eventual AEW champion at Double or Nothing. So it's a big match that one is for Moxley. Nice back elbow there by Drew Gulak. Be a massive run against play if Gulak was to win here. I mean, Gulak's a very accomplished wrestler, don't get me wrong. But Moxley, on the form that he's in at the moment, is just everyone's favourite, isn't he? Nice super kick in the gut of Gulak. As Moxley now slamming Gulak face first into the apron. Now back up to his feet. Stiff right hand in the gut. Sent back into the ring. Referee's got his right work cut out here with the amount of counts he's having to do, isn't he? Moxley now ducking under, jumping over into a neck breaker. And Moxley heading up top once again. We've already seen him hit a big splash to the outside. Now what's he going for? Quite ironic with a big no-fly zone sign out there. It's another big splash from Moxley. And Gulak is able to kick out. There weren't a lot in that though, was there? Nice boot right to the spine by Moxley as Gulak's back up to his feet and Moxley elbow to the leg. Into the front chancery. Moxley now dragging Gulak across to the ropes, drapes it in there. As Gulak catches him with a forearm, but Moxley springs back off the ropes and catches Gulak with the clothesline. Drops into the pin. Vintage Moxley. Wow. Okay, that was terrible. Moxley just won the match of a clothesline, which, if you know me, I'm very much against anybody winning anything with a clothesline. But either way, John Moxley is making his way into part 4. Into part 3 of our Best of the Best tournament alongside Jimmy Havoc, Luke Harper, and Joey Janela. They will be part of our semis, joined by the 4 people that are going to win their matches tomorrow for a chance to fight for the Combat Zone Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. As you can see, Gulak is not happy with that loss at all. He thinks he should have done better. And to be honest, I think he should have done better as well. That was a bit of a weird one for me. Either way, that's the end of part 1 of our Combat Zone Wrestling Best of the Best Tournament Night 1. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit a like. And of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. We'll be back tomorrow for part 2 with some more very interesting matches. And we'll confirm the final 4 members of our semi-finals for Sunday. I've been Shebby Gamer. Thank you much for watching. See you next time. Bye.